Hello everybody and welcome, good evening, this is Wesley Chillybird and today we have for you, ladies and gentlemen, the Friday Night Cup, hosted by just me. So, I'm doing a bit of everything this evening, so excuse me if my mind isn't completely on the ball all of the time, but today we have a 20-man at the moment, it's only 20 at the moment, it could be more, a 20-man tournament which will be going live very shortly. We will have, hopefully, a lot of good games coming on. We have quite a big bracket. We have a double elimination bracket, so I hope you are looking forwards to this as much as I am, and I'm looking forward to this quite a lot. So, we're still in the process here of waiting for the bracket to go live. We are on a delay of 10 minutes, so you'll be seeing this 10 minutes after me, so the bracket's probably live and we're all having a laugh at my expense. But hopefully everything is going well on this Friday evening for you all. Hopefully you are ready to get some Hearthstone on into your weekend. And I know I am. I know I am. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of things. If by any chance you guys want to see any information on the chat, or in the chat should I say, then there are a bunch of commands for Nightbot out there tonight. You can see the bracket by doing !bracket. And there's a few others as well. I'll let you try and find them out. We also have our own G2A code, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! We need a soundboard, don't I? It's down there, down below. You can see there, Syndicale for 3% off any of your G2A orders. Now, what this means is soon, hopefully, we're going to be bringing to you more Hearthstone Cups, and some of them maybe with prizes. So, I hope you're ready for tonight. I am definitely ready for tonight. This bracket should be going live anytime. Well, 10 minutes ago for you, but now for me. So, let me just get some information out to people who don't know where I am on the stuff right now. Okay. So, we seem to have the 20-man tournament lined up. Maybe 20... Oh, no, there's 22 now. Okay, people are just trying to make my life a little bit more difficult today, but I like it. You know, more people, the merrier. We also do have one member, DJ666, who hopefully we are going to be finding out a little bit more about, who was on a hat-trick of Friday Night Cup victories in a row for the second time. He's won in weeks 13, 14, he missed out on 15, he didn't get the title, but he's won 16 and 17, and now we're here on Friday Night Cup, week 18, and he's going again for that hat-trick. Tonight we also see possibly Fudo V, who finished third to DJ666 in week 13, and we also have our week 4 winner, all the way from Austria, Braiky, who hopefully we'll get to see at some point this evening. And of course, Syndical Gaming's very own GothGirl, the queen of decks so far-fetched you don't even think it's Hearthstone anymore. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot from her tonight as well. And, you know, there's so much more. There's so much more I could go through, but I just don't know enough about these guys. And I want to know a lot about them. So maybe at some point tonight we can find a way of contacting them, because you know I just don't want to sit here on my own. And in the weeks coming, guys, there will hopefully be more than just me streaming these tournaments, because you know it's a bit more fun when I have someone to interact with, someone to talk to, and also someone to actually help me out a little bit, because you know there's quite a lot of things rattling through this head of mine at the moment. So if I just have a quick check on the bracket, it doesn't seem like anything has gone live just yet. However, it is getting slow, so that means that we could well see some progress very shortly. So as I was sort of alluding to there, we are going to hopefully make this Friday Night Cup stream a weekly occurrence, starting from this week. So if you want to come up and play in the Friday Night Cup, give it a go. If you want to be part of our Syndical Gaming team, look on our forums, syndical-gaming.com. So we now do have the bracket live, so I am very excited. So we are going to be jumping into a game as soon as I can find one which is suitable, and I have both of them on my friends list. So we are going to be jumping in, ladies and gentlemen, to GothGirl versus AcezGlobe. So I'm just going to let them know. Okay. So we're just having to set up the first little bits here for the tournament. So we are going to have, this is the round 1 stage of the tournament. The winner will face Yuki number 11, who I believe played in last week's tournament as well. I took part in last week's tournament. So, you know, it's not just people who, you know, can't play the game that sit here behind the computer not knowing what they're doing that commentate. I say that, but I did go out quite early on last week, and there's only 8 players. But anyway, guys, I am really excited for this, as you can probably tell. We do have also DJ666 going through to a second round game against Luke. I think that's how you say it, HS. Elsewhere, we also have DrLister going against Red Child. Luakim has got a bye, and will face the winner of that game. We Are Sorry against Mr. Good will be going up against each other, and the winner of that game will face the winner of Snurfy AO and Showstopper. We also have a few other people now messaging me, so I apologize for that. So we could also jump into another game if the need be. But at this moment in time, I am hoping that we'll be able to jump into the game between Goth and AcezGlobe as soon as possible. So hang on to your seats, this is going to be a bumpy ride. So I will quickly just double check that everything is going correctly. It seems that way. We do have my face on the Twitch channel. Lovely. That's what I like to see. And so hopefully they will be, I think, yep, they are just preparing to face each other. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the first action of the Friday Night Cup number 18. Get that hype on in the chat if you're in there. Put down your prediction. Is it going to be GothGirl, the homegrown Hearthstone Pro? Don't know, just tried to make things rhyme there. From Syndical Gaming, or is it going to be AcezGlobe? We are about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just having a small update of the bracket here, maybe, which doesn't seem to have actually updated anything, which is good. Which is good. We've got it fixed. Don't worry, guys. We got this. All right. So now we are just waiting for Aces and Goth to go into the game. Leave your predictions, because I'm excited. Alrighty. I assume that they are just calling their decks and will be starting imminently. And as soon as that happens, we will be bringing you live coverage of that game. We just have to wait in the meantime and listen to the beautiful sounds of the Hearthstone background music. Oh, this music. It brings a little bit of joy to my heart, and I'm just waiting now. So we do have a game on. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are loading it up. Who? Well, there's no point in saying who. We know who's who in the zoo. Alright, we have GothGirl versus
I must protect the wild.
AcezGlobe. I hope you're excited. So I know I am. We have a druid against a warlock. Bit of an age-old fight, this one. And we see a flame imp going down from GothGirl in her warlock deck. The first card played live here, and I think that we are just catching up here with the game. I'm just going to make sure we can see Goth's hand as well. We do see a couple of Imp Gang bosses in her hand, and as I was saying before, or insinuating before, she does like to run anything that is new, and that's the great thing about having these cups on a Friday night. We get to see all of the stuff that which you guys have built from BRM the day after it's been released. So we might see some amazing plays with the new stuff, we might see some bad plays with the new stuff. It's all part of the fun of the game. And we see Goth here taking a lot of hits at AcezGlobe, who is now pointing out the Keeper of the Grove.
I must safeguard the light.
The 2 damage onto the Knife Juggler, and no more knives will be coming out of that guy. We see a Defender of the Argus coming into the hand of GothGirl now, which could be used pretty nicely here, as the Flame trades quite well. And it plays pretty nicely around the swipe there. Very confident plays being made here. But she goes for AcezGlobe goes for the swipe here anyway. That's gonna bring out Imp, which... Oh! Okay, I didn't know that was the way it interacted. Huh. So the Imp gets... That's a strange interaction. I think that's a bug. Bugs being found here. Every day. Okay, we see the second Imp Gang Boss coming down now, and there's not that many answers in AcezGlobe hand here. The Sludge Belcher puts on a bit of the pressure, but it's not going to do so for too long here, especially with the Abusive Sergeant and the second Defender of Argus in hand. There's even the Dark Bomb here, which Goth can use to trade up and trade in. I think I quite like the Dark Bomb play here, but there is always the Abusive Sergeant, the 3-1.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Or this.
Why do you fall?
My shield.
Okay, I see. I see what's going on. Right, Goth getting the most out of her mana here. And pushing her way towards Lee. Pushing through a lot of damage this turn. That full board is going to really hurt AcezGlobe unless he can pull out something big here, which he doesn't. The Force of Nature has to be used defensively here, but I think it's still lethal with that right hand for GothGirl. That Imp might just be the difference. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
I can see.
It wasn't the difference, but it certainly helped her. GothGirl takes a 1-0 lead against AcezGlobe here. And I have to say, that was over before it really started, it seemed. Goth just getting a really solid start, and that's why this new Zoolock with the Imp Gang Boss that Goth is playing here is probably actually going to be pretty popular. The Imp Gang Boss it's basically a possibly infinite implosion, but just not quite as many imps and not quite as good RNG with the Knife Jugglers. But I suppose if she runs Implosion as well, then this is going to be a very tough matchup for any deck, really. But we'll go into the next game now, and it is the Rogue against the Mage. See another one of Goth's golden classes coming out onto the board here. And what can she bring to the table, I wonder? So, we see a Sylvanas, a Counterspell, and a Ragnaros. We see a Ragnaros in both hands, actually. That's interesting. The Blackrock Mountain truly coming out from both of these two players here. AcezGlobe with that Counterspell in hand. I'm interested to see what kind of mage this is. I mean, Secret Mage is obviously the first guess with that Counterspell. Oh! Okay, so Goth has... possibly... I'm not quite sure what happened there. I apologize. That wasn't expected. We'll wait and see what happens here. She didn't have a great hand. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not too sure what happened there. Oh, I think it's because... I think it might be that she played the wrong deck there. It could well be that. Oh, excuse me, I'm on the wrong screen here. Let me just double check here, because I'm fairly sure that means that the game goes to aces, but
soul shall be mine.
You
Okay.
asked for it.
Here we go then. Into the game again. We'll see what happens there. Yeah. So it's not actually a conquest. It's a small issue. I believe both players have agreed to continue on here. And we see another strong early hand coming out for Goth here. And a slightly slow start for Aces here. He has the Mad Scientist with the Mirror Entity, which is a meek opening for him, I suppose. But we do know that there's a counter spell in there, so this does look like a secret to me. We'll wait and see. We see the I want to trade into your your...
Why do
this
you
could work here.
fall?
Double into Mad Scientist.
Maggot.
Is this really going to stomp on Ace's dreams? Oh, it is! Oh, that's painful to see. Oh, man, and that spell is a mirror entity. No, sorry, it's a counter spell. So, well, that Mortal Coil is probably not going to be used just yet, considering the lowest cost minion in Ace's hand is the Sludge Belcher. Yeah, the Direwolf Alpha here I think is the best play for Goth. If it was a mirror entity, then she'd be able to trade with the Void Caller. Sorry, Void Walker. I always get confused between the two. Why do you call then yet he's a Void Walker when there's a Void Caller as well? So slow start again for Aces here, and it's just not the deck that you can go, or that you can afford to have a slow start against. Goth's hands have just continued to be very, very good. And we see a second spell coming out here, and this one is the Mirror Entity. So Goth now knows that he's running two sets of spells. At this point she might be thinking it's Freeze Mage. She chooses to tap. Is she going to play the second Direwolf Alpha, or is she just going to let the rest of the play go through? She pulls out the other Direwolf Alpha. Clever play here. She now trade the Direwolf Alpha which she played last turn into the Direwolf Alpha which has been put this turn. Let's see. Right. Been informed to turn the volume down a little bit here, so my apologies if that was too loud before. Tell me if it's any better now. Right, so we see the counter spell coming out there onto the Mortal Coil. I'm attempting to avoid any distractions here, I apologise for that. So, the Sludge Belcher has come down now. There is a one attack Meridian Egg on the field. This is actually quite an awkward play here for Goth. It's very awkward. Okay. I don't think we'll see any trades this turn. I'd be very surprised if we do.
Almost out of time.
Goth's just thinking everything through here, and she decides it's best not to do any of the trading. So we see a Shredder come straight into the hand here, which is very, very good for Aces here. You can also ping the 2-1 and then trade into either the 2-2 or the 3-2, depending on what he wants. I would probably say it would be the 2-2. Oh, he's decided not to ping. Mirror Entity instead coming down for him. Oh. Sorry, I just brain farted a little bit there. Of course, the spell cost one less. Okay. Yeah, my maths was not on point there, sorry. Okay, so we now see the exact trades that I was expecting, just there was a little bit of a mana differential between what I was thinking. So the Mirror Entity here is annoying. So she knows that it's not a duplicate. So it's either Mirror Entity or Counterspell in her head, probably. You know, I mean, it could still be an Ice Block or an Ice Barrier, but you know, you're probably thinking at this stage, okay, there's more than anything, it's probably going to be a mirror entity here. So she goes with the Nerubian egg because the mage is probably not going to run anything which can buff the egg to be anything more than just an egg. We'll see what is happening as we go into this one now. The Shredder up again. Falls onto the board. And just transferring some damage to Goth's face now. This is a much closer game than that last one. That Doom Guard could be useful here. But she definitely doesn't want to get rid of either the Ink Gang boss or the Defender of Argus. So Taunts coming down onto the 2 Nerubian eggs to take out the 1-2. I'm not sure. I think I might have preferred to have seen the Imp Gang boss come down and that get taunted up. Because AcezGlobe would have had to have done something with her. Wait and see. Might feel a little tingle coming down now as well. The ping going onto the Nerubian here. And the trade from the Sorcerer's Apprentice into the Nerubian, leaving just the 2-1 body on the field now for Goth. Dark Bomb falls into her hand. It's a 10 mana hand compared to an 18 mana hand on Ace's side, but with that Ragnaros and that of Kel'Thuzad still to come, you have to slightly give the edge here to Aces, especially when Goth, you know, that's going to be great for her, you know, the fact that she can tap at this stage in the game when they're both stuck on about 3-2 cards in hand. But the thing is, there's quite a big difference between having a Dark Bomb and Ink Gang boss and a Knife Juggler in your hand compared to having Kel'Thuzad and Ragnaros. I mean, sure, you might be able to deal with the Ragnaros, but if you can't deal with it on the first turn, then Aces is just going to come straight through with that Kel'Thuzad, and you're just going to keep taking damage from the Ragnaros. So it's going to be very tough here for Goth to get back into this one, but we do see a fairly good trade here. Not the knife that she wanted, but the Ragnaros comes out anyway here from Globe. If this hits the Juggler, then it's pretty good. If it hits the Imp Gang... okay. If it hit the Imp Gang boss and it threw a knife straight onto the Nerubian, it would have been interesting. I think that's what I'm looking for here. So we could see a Dark Bomb play onto the 1-3 here, but we could also see a Dark Bomb into a Doom Guard to get rid of the Ragnaros here. But the Dark Iron Dwarf comes down, and the 4-4 trades with the 1-3. That was another option. We now get Syndical. And the Doom Guard coming down now, and Goth has decided now is the time to go aggressive. Ooh, not the turn to do that when the Fireball comes down and the ping's gonna slam that Doom Guard off of the board and into the Death Chamber. We will see how this part goes. Now, does Goth run any removal in this deck? You have to wonder. Where does Ragnaros hit? Ragnaros hits the biggest card on Goth's side of the board, and we see another Imp Gang boss coming down into her hand now. We'll see a life tap. Echoing Ooze, not really what she's after here. Those Jugglers are not on the board to help her out. However, if she does top deck that next turn, it could still be pretty good. As the Imp Gang boss trades into the Sorcerer's Apprentice, a pretty good trade there. That's why these 2-4 bodies are so good, because the amount of 3-2s actually in play at the moment. We could see Kel'Thuzad coming down here. I think I prefer the Unstable Portal play. However, he's going to ping his own Nerubian egg here. Now, is there any way that he can get... Okay, so we see another Nerubian coming down. We see a Void Caller now. So is there anything here which saves Goth? Like, she could tap. She has 5 damage at the moment. And Flame Imp's not the card she wants to see right now. There's no point playing the Flame Imp, because if Ragnaros trades into the Void Walker, the Void Cooler, Unstable Portal here. If we see a T-Rex coming out of this portal, it's Illuminator. Okay. There's a possible lethal. Oh no, there's a possible lethal. He's one off lethal. AcezGlobe is 1 off lethal. If he had have... No, don't worry, that would have been 4 off of lethal. Such a precarious position here for both players, because if Goth manages to get a Doom Guard and a Dark Bomb, you know, that's game over for AcezGlobe. That's the end of his winner's bracket part of the tournament, so he's going to have E-Force to trade here, and there's nothing that you want to trade into. You know, the Void, you know, that's the best play. If you do that to the Void Walker, who knows what it's going to bring out? It could bring out, sorry, the Void Caller. It could bring out a Morgana. How do you know what that's going to bring out? It's a crazy, crazy board situation right now.
I have no time for games.
And here we see the Illuminator, and Ragnaros still not hitting in the right places for Aces. And we see a Dark Bomb. Is that lethal? That is exact lethal! Oh my word. Goth just got away with murder. I'm sure she sees the lethal here. She has to see the lethal. And it's the most basic lethal I think I've ever seen. That's a GG. That's the first round of this time. Whacked down the Dark Bomb to finish it off. And, well, that was a close game. That was a really close game. And that's why I've been looking forward to streaming again, you know. Those sort of close games right there are the ones that you just sort of sit back and think, okay, that was good to watch. So the best of 3 is all over now. GothGirl goes through into the second round of the winner's bracket, but we still might see more yet from Aces as he moves down into the loser's bracket, and Goth will go on to face Yuki number 11 in the second round. Our loser's bracket looks very complicated just looking at it right now, but we'll wait and see. So at current we have possibly 1 round being played in round 2, 1 game being played, should I say. DJ will be playing that one. I think we could see some others as well here. I'm just trying to look through and decipher exactly where we are heading off to next, as you may have been able to tell. Just going to have a quick see here. Okay. So we just need to find now a game to watch for this next round. So let me just refresh the bracket one more time. If you want to see the bracket, guys, you can in the chat. Just do !bracket and you'll get to see the delightful bracket which I'm currently looking through right now. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to find a game before too much longer, guys. But if you just give me 2 minutes, I'll try and find a game for us to get into. Until then, I'll let you listen to some awesome Hearthstone music. I'll be back in just a moment, guys.
Oh, it's good to see you again. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am currently just still trying to find a game for us to go into. Having a small issue with doing so at the moment, but I will attempt to do so as quickly as possible here. We shall have a see if there is anyone currently still in game, and there's a few that are already over, so we won't be going to those. I'll have a quick check here whether this game is still going or not. You have quite a few. Okay, we do have a game, I think, here. Right, I think we'll be going into a game very shortly here. It will possibly be a second round game here between our Syndical Gaming Friday Night Cup Week 4 winner, braiky from Austria, against Xilly, I believe. We will have a check in just a moment. As I say, we are still waiting for people to confirm their results in the brackets. Things do take a small time longer than would be good here. We'll wait and see. Right. We are just gonna have to wait and see. Okay. We're just waiting here for a moment, I believe. Okay. Okay. We are having some small issues here with finding a game. I do apologize for that. I will try and find one as soon as possible. I apologize for this. Okay. So let me just have a quick double check with another member. I apologize again for the wait here. This is not what I had planned. So guys, if you are taking part in the tournament, may I just say, please do make sure that that everything is all confirmed, etc. Before you move on, as this is what happens when that doesn't happen, and it's quite frustrating. We are waiting just to see if anybody now does come through and say that they have won their game. Okay. Let's just take another quick look here. Okay, the bracket has just updated a little bit here, I think. Could well see some gameplay going through now. So we do have DrLister. Okay, we are just getting ready, hopefully here, for a round 2 tie. We'll wait and see whether this one does come through or not. So, we have 2 possible games on hold here. Hopefully one of them will go through very shortly. We'll wait and just see as well, because there could be another couple of games which do come through. We'll wait and see here. Okay, so we do have a game now. Okay, so we do also have Ephira moving through after beating Hendrock 2-0 to the 3rd round, getting a wild card through the 2nd. He will face the winners of the he'll face the winner of We Are Sorry versus Mr. Good and Snurfio and Showstopper. We'll wait and see who progresses there. So we do see a few coming through now. Hopefully a few more as well soon, as this has been one of the most awkward breaks I've had in a long time. Okay. So we do have two people down in the losers bracket at the moment. They're both on opposite sides of the table. We also have Golden Pants against AbH. So it will be interesting to see if we can get that game going. Okay. 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 Okay, so we might be heading into a game very shortly. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I'm lost now. Okay. Okay, we're looking into possibly going into another game now. At last. We'll wait and see whether this one comes to fruition or not. We'll hope so. We'll really hope so. Okay. Okay, we will be going into a game now, and it will be DrLister who will be playing against Joachim. We'll be going into that one as soon as they get going. We don't actually have any, well, we don't have much background information on either of them. WrzHer is a level 14 at the moment, and we also have the legend DrLister coming into this one, so we'll wait and see how this goes. I'm just happy to be going back straight into a game. Hopefully, things will get picking up very shortly. Okay. So we are just waiting for them to go, and here we go! DrLister. We're going to be spectating him. Alas, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise for the incredibly long wait. Here we go, DrLister on the bottom hand side, playing Hunter, playing against Joachim, or WrzHer, on the top of your screen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this one now. And here we see a couple of interesting starts here. Well, we see one start, a Neutron, a Snow Chugger, an Unstable Portal, and a Frostbolt in the hand of the Mage. We see a lot of... That's an interesting play. Abusive Sergeant straight down onto a board. Okay.
Hello.
There it goes. The cheeky little hello as the Neutron comes out. I like it. I like it a lot. This should be interesting. Pretty tough trade here for the Hunter. You don't want to be using your quick shot for that. He makes the trade. Okay, I suppose it does get rid of Divine Shield, because obviously the Mage could have just pinged it last turn. Wait and see. Mech Warpath and the Quick Note now coming down onto the board. We'll wait and see how this pans out for both sides here. We do have two rather aggro, rather hated meta decks being played here by the two players currently facing off. We see the Animal Companion, we see two Knife Jugglers in the hand of the Hunter. So we will wait and see. Takes the Knife Juggler out, and then the Quick Shot dealing the 3 damage to the Mech Warp. That's a very, very good card to try and stop that with. And we see now the ping going down onto the Mad Scientist, and the Explosive Trap coming out. So maybe not what the trap that the Hunter wanted, and we do see the Arcane Golem, which does confirm to us that this is an aggro deck.
Greetings,
We'll
trap.
see a little bit of banter going on between the two here, and we do see the finicky Throat Shield as well coming from that Gnome, and we see a Light Spawn for 1 mana. That's pretty strong, I have to admit. Against the Hunter, it's actually pretty good. And we see the Frostbolt coming down now. taking out the first knife juggler, but little does he know there is the second one in the hand of DrLister.
Put this apple on your head.
So the juggler into the animal companion, I would imagine. It's not quite time for the arcane golem yet. I mean, the taunt puts him in a very good position here, he would think, because of that frostbolt. That's also pretty good as well. That's probably the best one for any hunter in any situation ever. But we're going to see the frostbolt going down, and the snow chugger, as well as the light spawn. So a lot of pow going down for. Ooh, as we see Leroy Jenkins. This is a very, very aggressive deck here from DrLister. But Wakima's got quite a lot of damage on the board at the moment, and there's not too many ways for the hunter to take it out without taking much damage himself. I mean, the arcane golem can take out the light spawn in just, you know, one clean sweep, and the eagle horn bow does trade into the 2/3 as well. But that's using all of your mana defensively as a face hunter, and your face is frozen for the next turn, and you've only got 2/4 on the board. But you do 2 damage to his face, and, you know, he's got nothing. And he's only got 3 cards in his hand, and DrLister should know that one of those is a spare part. So I believe that'll be the play that we see here anyway. Okay, that is the play we do see. Oh, but he went to face, sorry, with the arcane golem. I was expecting him to take out the light spawn, but I suppose that's a better play, because now he has to use that to defend, because he knows that there's no more frostbolts. DrLister knows that those frostbolts are out of the way. Nothing more in the way of low cost removal.
Something needs tinkering?
But we do see a lot, like, it seems at the moment that Wakim is just playing off the top of his deck a lot. He's just getting these chances to simply, you know, work his board and just extend his board pretty heavily. And those top decks are doing him favours. Until now, he's got a lot of junk in his hand. See an Iron Beak coming out. It's not going to be too good for the mage here. You see 7 more damage going to, well, 8 more damage including the ping, going to the face of the hunter now. And the hunter calling well played. You see 13 damage coming down, and that's why everybody hates you hunters. Out of nowhere. You know, that's just mean. That's very mean. That's very hunter. Okay, so that will be DrLister taking a 1-0 lead in this matchup. We shall wait and see how this goes. I have just realised that in the last game I forgot to change the bottom right hand side thing, so I apologise for that. I'll do that very shortly. As we go into our next game here between not GothGirl and AcezGlobe. It is actually, my apologies to the 2 players, DrLister versus
Let the hunt begin.
Keen. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Back once again, and we see a Zoolok coming out. So we have the Zoo versus the Hunter. The age-old rivalry. This has been going on since I've been playing this game pretty much, this rivalry.
Why do you call?
Okay. Quick shot coming down now onto the void. Pretty good. Pretty good trade. Alright. But we do see still a lot more in the Zoolok hand. And a lot of charge, and a lot of buff potential in the hand. It's always good to have that buff potential, but when one of them's a Dark Iron Dwarf, which is good enough on its own anyway, I think you're doing alright. Dark Iron Dwarf is a very powerful card. It's basically a 6/4 for 4 mana. Yeah, I'd call that overpowered. Moving off of the overpowered talk though, we do see DrLister with a Wolf Rider And a bow. That's what he chooses to play here, and he goes to face with it. And we see a Soulfire. Man, this takes me back to Season 8 or so. Soulfire, Defender of Argus as well, but tap comes down for Zoo. I'm not sure I like that move. He already knows it's an aggressive deck, and he's decided that it's going to be better for him to tap there rather than play either the Wolf Rider or an Abusive Sergeant. We'll see if it comes to bite him, or whether I just know nothing about Earth. So the Abusive Sergeant coming down now, though. As well as the Annoyatron, and that Annoyatron is going to do so much work. It's going to trade into at least... Oh, that Explosive Trap's going to hurt. Ooh. It's going to have to trade the 2-1 in, I think, to the Annoyatron. Because he's going to want to take that out. But now we do see a bit of a conundrum for Whackim here. The Gnome traded in, so now he knows it's an Explosive Trap. Defender of Argus going between the 2-1 and the 2-3, and the formerly 1-2, now 2-3. So a couple of pretty big buffs now for the... Oh, that was a mistake. For the Warlock, I was going to say, but I'm not sure about that play at all. I don't know. I'd personally go for an Animal Companion there. The Animal Companion gives you no really bad outcomes there, but we'll wait and see. There is 7 damage for the Hunter here on the bridge, and a lot coming out here. Oh, you've got to trade into that Mad Scientist, surely. Silence coming out. Animal Companion. Oh, it's not quite lethal. 6-8 damage for the Hunter, and he's going to have to force the trade. Unbelievable. So if he trades into that, it's 5 damage possible. Unless this is an explosive... Well, if this is a Snake Trap, it's over. It's an Explosive Trap, though. We do see an Acidic Swampoo's coming into the hand. We love seeing that, Susie. Oh boy, I love seeing Susie. You're going to see the Dark Iron Dwarf come down now on the Defender of Argus. He might look to trade this in here. He does. And the Explosive Trap comes down, taking out the Wolf Rider and dealing 2 extra damage to the Dark Iron Dwarf, which... I don't know. I see the Soulfire coming out now. I would have waited. You can get that piloted treader on the board. Oh, it's so close to lethal. It's 1 off. DrLister 1 off of lethal. He hits in with the Wolf Rider. And the implosion means that it's not lethal for the Warlock either. Oh man. The Hunter, believe it or not, being 1 damage short, but still coming out victorious. The tap doesn't even work here. The tap doesn't even work. Oh, the plays just... Look how close that game was. That, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Oh, now we're going to see some bad numbers, aren't we? No?
Well.
Just a straight, good old, steady shot. And that puts DrLister through to the next round of the Hearthstone Syndical Gaming Friday Night Cup. Almost forgot what the name of our own tournament was called there. Okay. So now we do have a couple of games going on. We see that GothGirl went through via default against Yuki number 11. Yuki didn't actually show up to today. Goth and DJ are going head to head right now. So I tell you what, we're going to jump straight into that one. DJ666, as I was telling you before, is trying to go for a hat-trick of wins in our Friday Night Cup. He's won the last 2 running, and now he's going to look to take on the Syndical Gaming very own GothGirl. So we see a Paladin versus Rogue being lined up here by them both. Excuse me as I find Goth.
I wonder.
Okay. Let me just edit this now. Okay. Let's have a see.
The end is coming!
See a Doomsayer coming out here from... Whoa, that's not what I expected to see, Goth. Okay, Doomsayer. Against the Paladin here. You also see, very intriguingly, the Chromagus in that hand as well. And I'm not quite sure why the hero power is used there. I mean, why not, I suppose. Why not? Alright, Dagger Goth, that's going to be the end of her turn. And there's only, right now, there is only the MCT that is playable as well as the hero power here. So a very slow start from both parties. We do see quite a lot of removal in Goth's hand. A lot of defensive cards as well as a couple of brand new cards as well. Dark Iron Skulker. That's going to be an interesting card, I think, in the meta. If this comes down to a Rogue versus Hunter, I'm going to be really intrigued as to how that goes. And the Chromagus as well is going to be pretty cool. If you haven't seen the Chromagus yet, there it is right now. So, we'll wait and see how this goes. I mean, Chromagus works especially well when you could have something like a prep into Blade Flurry. Chromagus works perfectly in the Miracle Rogue. In fact, it makes it an even more miraculous rogue in a way. That would be insane. So, we're just waiting here on Goth to take her turn, I believe. And she decides not to play anything this turn, having used her weapon to take out the 1-1. Couple of options here for DJ. Lotheb is the choice. Harrison would have been a bit of a waste. So, it is decided that Lotheb is the play. I mean, we could see the Doomsayer here from Goth. The Doomsayer, I know she doesn't know it, but the Doomsayer does actually wipe out the Lotheb more than likely. Unless a 1-drop is drawn, and luck is on her side. But she goes for it anyway, and she weapons up and... Oh, I think it was a very small misplay there from Goth. Unless she's just playing around Harrison, which is quite possible. Okay, so you just see the Lotheb going to face. And another reinforce there. Just because one... Both Doomsayers down, and we see Emperor Thorison now. Goth looking in a pretty good way right now. And the Emperor's just going to make it look even better. There's the coin and there's the Chromagus as well. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of good things in Goth's hand right now that I would quite like in my hand pretty much all the time. So the play here, the play here, the play here is always going to look very, very weak from DJ. I think. The Sylvanas is very annoying. With the Sylvanas, Goth will be forced to trade the Emperor into the Sylvanas before playing anything else, but the Harrison's being considered here from DJ. He's hovering over it a couple of times here, but the Sylvan... Nope, it's just trying to troll me now. I'm not going to even call anything. Now I can call it. Harrison played down onto a 1-1 weapon, and I don't think that was the play that DJ was looking for there, but he has drawn into the Master of Battle now from that, and he does have a Knife Juggler in his hand. Of course, if we see a Quartermaster top decked here for DJ, then that could, you know, be the really big turning point here. Because, I mean, even if DJ does manage to get down the Knife Juggler and Master of Battle combo, he could probably get down the Acolyte as well at that point. We do also see the Blade Flurry in Goth's hand, which is just the complete and utter counter for Master for Battle. So we'll see what comes of it. looks like an anti-kill bot was being considered, but
What
Dark Iron
lurks
Skulker
in
is played here. And an SI7 coming down as well. This is what I mean by Goth. Look at her. Like, you have a Harrison? Oh, that's cute. You know. And Emperor Thorison lives to bargain hunt, let's say, for another day. And there's still not really a way here for DJ to take
I have
control.
no time for games.
He goes for Sylvanas and hero power.
Reporting for duty.
But I mean, like, what's he gonna do with that? Really? What's gonna be the play? There's not very much going on here for DJ, which is interesting. We see 12 damage on the board for Goth, which is half of DJ's health.
I wonder.
The Assassinate's got to be an option here. Well, could be an option here, should I say. We've also got a possibility of a backstab and then trade, but if Thorison turns out on on DJ's side of the board...
So many options.
Well, actually, I suppose if you backstab and trade the SI7 in, then if Thorison's the one that gets stolen, then you just trade the 4-3 into Thorison and then Fan of Knives to take out both. But you do see two being hit into the face there, and the Skulker taken. Chromagus going out here as well, and the backstab onto 4-3 with a Fan of Knives. My goodness me, Goth putting together a combo and then some right there. So 2 unstable ghouls now go into the hand. And we see a second muster for battle, which is actually playable. A Knife Juggler double muster is playable here, but I don't think that's what DJ will be looking for right now. In fact, I don't think there's much that he can be looking for here that he's going to be happy with. I mean, just as he thinks he's got the worst part out of the way, like a 3-3, a 4-3 and a 5-5, he's now got a 6-8 and a 3-3 to deal with. And his hand is very good against, say, a Hunter, but not very good against something with 8 health. Okay, so the Aldol Peacekeeper's it,
Reporting for duty.
which... I mean, it's going to prevent 5 damage every turn, but I think that one of the main things with Chromagus is the fact that it's actually very, very strong at just doing what it does, pretty much, which is double drawing. So, I mean, if Goth pulls out, imagine if Goth pulls out here an Edwin Van Cleef, or something crazy like that. That's just going to be insane. That's going to be almost game over. It's a pretty crazy situation on the board right now, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens here. Reinforce chosen by DJ. Trying to make it look as though he's got that Quarter Muster. Oh, holy moly. That is exactly the card that she wanted for this situation, exactly the card that she wanted duplicated. And now she gets to draw a card and get the Eviscerate now, also, to just double in. Oh my word. Oh, I can't speak. That was insane. We see 10 cards now in the hand of Goth, though. So it could be a bit of an issue, but we do also see the Sabotage in the hand, which can destroy the 3-2 and the 1-3 weapon for just 2 mana. That card is just insane right now for her.
I wonder.
I mean, if we do see that played, we have to wonder what else she could follow it up with, but there's so much there. You know, it could just be anything, but we're going to see the SI7 played here. I think Goth thinks that she's won this game now more than likely. She doesn't want to sort of overshow her cards, like in the most literal sense. She doesn't want DJ to be able to know, okay, so I need to play around Sabotage, or I need to play around Chromagus next turn. But obviously she's played the Chromagus now, just because that's just pretty much one other game.
Engaging TC
Oh, we see Mind Control. Oh, it's taken one of the SIs. There was a small chance that it had a really, really big outcome right there. But it does actually remove 3 damage from... Ah! That's painful. That's just gross. Ugh. Double Dr. Boom. Chronicus is just destroying DJ right now.
Well played.
And the Eviscerate into the Eviscerate that she drew earlier on. And Chronicus
played.
doubled. GothGirl is going to be taking the lead in this one. I believe that to be 1-0. Oh my. What a game that was. Now, I'm fairly sure that's 1-0 to Goth. Let me just double check that with her. But, me oh my, what a game that was. We didn't see all of it, but it seemed like a very good game. And they are definitely going to be playing another game, so it's either 1-0 to Goth or it's 1-1. Goth will be playing the Rogue again, no matter what happened there. Okay, so Goth's not feeling up on her chances here, but it is 1-0 to Goth. Goth 1 and DJ 0 right now. We'll wait and see how this pans out as we go along here into the second leg of the tie, as we wait for the teams to choose their decks. Hopefully Goth remembers the rules this time. You just have to wait and see. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I will remind you once again that if you are enjoying the stream, then to follow this, Syndical Gaming, we're going to be streaming this there every week. Ooh, a bit of a sound bug there. But here we go, into game once again. And also don't forget, guys, that we do have a 3% off discount code for G2A for all of, pretty much all of your gaming needs, pretty much anyway. So yeah, go and use it, support us, and who knows, maybe some prizes will be coming your way soon in these cups. So we see a Shaman now coming out for DJ. We see a fairly high cost hand there. Now, he's seen quite a few different cards in her deck, so he does keep the Rockbiter. I was going to say, I don't know if you keep the Rockbiter, but... Ooh. Ouch. That starting hand is pretty rage-inducing, if you ask me. That's not a pretty sight. That's not a pretty sight. Next turn, Goth does have the coin into SI7, to which DJ can just Rockbiter, but he takes 5 damage. Oh, we do see the taunt. Okay, so that might change the SI7 play. Goth could, you know, there's the choice here, but she decides to go for the blade, for the dagger, and that's 1 damage down on that totem. So it's a talent call again here from DJ and the Zombie Chow. Now this is actually quite a interesting matchup. I'm not actually sure who would be favoured. I think you'd favour the Shaman very slightly, purely because of the high health totals that the totems and most of the cards that are played in the deck have. Yeah, I think so at least. But who knows, anything can happen when Goth is playing. And we do again see the Chromagus in the hand of Goth, and we do see a Baron Geddon. Now that might just change things for me. The Chromagus, the Baron Geddon is going to be very, very strong here, I think, against the Shaman. So we see the Chow just going in, but we do see the SI7, which I think is a possible play here. I mean, you can eviscerate one of them and then just SI, but I think Goth definitely has a much better technique than that. Actually, I was thinking about the Dark Iron Skulker then, and I forgot that it was just against anything with full damage, with full health. Imagine if it wasn't. Imagine if it wasn't. That would be pretty insane.
I wonder.
Syndical taking her time here, just having a double check over her cards, probably. Doing the addition.
Choose soon.
So we see the coin into the sludge belcher. That's a pretty solid play, considering there's only 2 damage on the board. There's a couple of choices here. You can go for the rock biter onto the zombie chow. That or the Azure Drake, I'd imagine. Well, I suppose you could rock biter and flame tongue and do that to the totem. If you rock biter and flame tongue and also hero power here, it's a pretty good turnout, I think, for the shaman, because you can give your totem 5 damage. Your chow then doesn't die this turn, hence not giving the... See it? I think we are. Okay. I would assume that's purely because of the fact that DJ didn't want to commit too much. Like, yeah. Commit too much.
Ha, this guy's toast.
So we see the non-combo SI coming out and a hero power. Just to get rid of that taunt totem. Totems can play with your mind, especially when they're golden. So we see a Fire Guard Destroyer. Now this could be interesting. Very strong card. What will we see become of it, and what will we see at this turn? The Lightning Storm isn't too bad a play here, I don't think.
I wonder.
But there's not much follow-up to it.
I wonder.
I apologize.
The fire
So we do see 5 damage on the Fire God Destroyer. Okay, and we also saw the 1/1 come out as well.
I wonder.
People are coming down. Okay, this is where things start hoeing. Double Flame Tongue in hand now. The Lightning Storm is still pretty effective here. Wait and see whether that is used.
What to do? I wonder. There's little time. What to do?
Alright. Lightning Storm is the choice here for what and we do see trade. That's probably the yeah, that's probably the play I would have made. Does also utilize 2 of his mana crystals for next turn, so there again is only 6, which it seems like that Dr. Boom is just so far away from DJ's reach right now. He's constantly just stuck on that 6 mana mark. He's had 3 straight turns of just 6
So
mana.
many options.
That Dr. Boom's just sat there laughing. You do see the Baron Geddon now getting full, what's the word for it? Full utilization, maybe I'd go for that. We do see the Lothar and the Azure Drake. The Hex is being hovered. Yeah, I think the Hex is probably the best play there. And Totemic Call into the end turn. I think out of 6 or 7 totems this game, DJ has pulled out 3 Taunt totems, which is, I guess, actually against the Rogue is probably a little bit bad, but is also quite good. So wait and see what comes of this.
So many options.
Quite a lot in Goth's hand. She's taken a lot of time to think about things here. We see the Skulker, we see the Chronicus.
I wonder.
Alright, we see the Azure Drake, and another Azure Drake coming into the hand as well of Goth. So there is a possibility of the Chronicus going into the Azure Drake draw the turn afterwards, but let's see. And the issue here, I think, with DJ is the fact that, you know, the Shaman isn't built around trying to get rid of your opponent's board. And with the late game that Goth's deck has, with the Chronicus, etc., you're going to have a bad time if you're trying to just clear that with Dr. Booms, with Flame Tongue Totems, etc., because 8 damage is a lot to make up. I mean, you know, you've got the Lothar, I suppose, you've got the Fire Elemental, you've got the Azure Drakes into something else, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough for DJ to get rid of that and whatever else Goth is playing, which is completely bonkers and crazy. So we'll wait and see.
I wonder.
What lurks in the depths?
Wow, that Skulker just went ham, boys. That is what I'm saying. That is what I am saying.
Too soon.
That was a crazy play. And we see the Eviscerate now coming down as well for Goth. And now the anti-kill boss. What a play that turns out to be. DJ666 is probably just sitting there thinking, okay, now I need to think of something else to play around in the Rogue deck. There's not much more that you can play around, you know, that you can use to play around. Goth is one of the best deck makers that I've seen. I mean, a lot of people just sit there with the meta and, oh, I'll make this change to my Warlock, my Handlock deck, and I'll call it my version. But Goth just goes to the other extreme and just changes everything, you know, there's barely a recognizable card face in her hand right now, apart from the edge of the you see Alakir coming down, and 2-3 damage minions going down on the side of Goth, and a little heal there for the Alakir, bringing him just up over the half health threshold. We see a Ragnaros now falling into the hand of Goth. This could be interesting. That 7 mana card sitting in the hand of Goth is begging to be played. It's sitting there saying, please play me. Please play me. But she has yet to listen to it. I mean, looking at plays here, the Black Knight is actually a good play against the Alakir. But Goth Goth plays enough to know that the Shaman does often play Defender of Argus. So, wait and see. Will this Ragnaros hit face? I'm guessing it doesn't. It does! Goth has trained her Ragnaros. Coming soon to cinemas near you. How to train your Ragnaros with GothGirl. Right, as your Drake now. Choice from DJ, the Harvest Golem, the draw from it. So there's a couple of plays here. The Defender of Argus is one option, but it's not very mana efficient. Flame Tongue Totem being hovered over here. Interesting. So the trade happens there, and now the Harvest Golem is possibly being played as well. Oh, the Haunted Creeper is in fact the choice. So we'll wait and see how this pans out. Okay, so we do see... there's a lot of stuff in Goth's hand right now, which is good against big, sort of, standout plays. But the thing is, with any Shaman, there's nothing that you particularly want to use your Assassinate or your Sabotage upon. Purely, you just want to get rid of everything as much as and as quickly as possible. And it's actually pretty difficult, I have to say. Playing against Shaman with a deck like Goth, you know, you've got to be smart. You've got to be thinking, okay, well I could use this onto that, but that film might be delayed after that one. So we see the antique kill bot, so we know that DJ has another couple of turns left in him. But I mean, if that Ragnaros would have hit down to 4 health, and that would have meant the antique kill bot only. Well, the antique kill bot is the direct counter to Ragnaros, really. You know, if Ragnaros hits your face, then antique kill bot heals you back up, and possibly, well, in my case, always stops the Ragnaros shot. So I'm looking here, and that unstable ghoul is the thorn in the side of DJ right now. He can trade the 3-1 into it, but as soon as that happens, he loses the 1-1. I mean, there's the There's the Defender of Argus play, but he still loses what will be the middle Spectral Spider. I'm sure that he wants to play the heal bot, but I'm also sure that he probably wants to play Lotheb as well to stop any kind of crazy lethal BS coming out from GothGirl. So we're going to see a Defender of Argus. Yes, we are. And another Flame Tongue Totem here. I'm not 100% sure I like seeing that played when that was played. I think the Flame Tongue Totem could have waited. Okay. So Goth is now down to just the Ragnaros on the board, but she has a whole range. I mean, look at the hand. You have Sabotage, so she can take out the 6/6. She has the Kroigus, you know, kick ass basically. Assassinate, same as Sabotage, except you know, just even better. Black Knight, you know, not in this, you know, part of the game, but you know, it could be useful if there's a Sludge Belcher and she wants to push lethal on the board. Sludge Belcher, defenses, you know, not that she needs many at this point, and you know, Doctor Wing Condition. I think Goth has got the best situational hand of any deck I've ever seen, to be honest. That hand right there is nigh on unbeatable, and we see the Ragnaros being trained once again, but we will see the damage reversed I expect here with the Healbot. I mean, here, for me, if I'm tilting, this is just a Healbot Lotheb done. But I expect much more from DJ to be done than... I don't believe he's one to just bring out the cards like an angry schoolchild. So we see the Healbot, and of course because of that, sorry I did forget about that locked in mana crystal there, so We couldn't have seen the Lotheb, but we do instead see the Harvest Golem. Okay, so there's the backstab here, but it doesn't clear anything, so a bit of a crazy situation right now for Goth.
So many.
I think the Doctor Boom is the play you want to make. If you have some ponies, you might backstab your own bomb. Oh, and another hit from Ragnaros. Ragnaros this game has done 32 damage, 24 of which has been to DJ's face. And now he's looking to his Neptulon, his Rockbiter and his Lotheb and saying, "Can you save me?" And I'm fairly sure if this was an episode of Bob the Builder, they'd be squealing back, "No, we can't."
I wonder.
But this is no Bob the Builder. This right here is Hearthstone, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the Neptulon could land him a charge, so there's the small possibility of this working. Okay, it could just land you that as well. The Rockbiter going onto the Harvest Golem here. Takes out the Doctor. Syndical hoping for the taunt. Gets the taunt. Okay, the taunt coming down here for DJ and the Shaman. But we know that there's a backstab. We know that there's a Black Knight here for Goth. So it is going to be Syndical Gaming's very own GothGirl taking the game and moving on to round number 4 of the Syndical Gaming Friday Night Cup number 18. DJ666, the man that is trying to go 3 straight tournaments, winning it. Did you guys see them? Oh, there is no definite lethal. I apologise. There's no definite lethal. I'm completely wrong here. So you should hit him with the bomb here, I think. Okay, that's done. Now just hit in with the other bomb to the 0-1. Hits face for 4. Oh yeah, no, sorry, 0-1. Sabotage happens.
Well,
You know, all big things. I was right in the end. GothGirl is our winner of this round. Congratulations to her, and good luck to her for the next round of the tournament. So, we are now going to be moving on to our next game, so let me just refresh the bracket very, very quickly here. And we'll see who exactly we have going up against each other in the next round. So, DrLister is going through to play Goth in that 4th round tie. We have We Are Sorry going against Ephira, and we also have Eero2011 against Braiky in the round 3 of the Friday Night Cup. So, a lot going on, a lot of games, and a lot more yet to come, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying the cup so far. I'll be back in a short moment. Don't miss me too much. Alright.
Oh, it's good to see you again. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are very quickly here going to go into another game. Braiky against Eero 2011. I'm going to very quickly here join the game. I believe I have both players added, I hope so. And we shall see in just a second. I don't actually have the other person, but we will load up the screen anyway. We have a mage against a druid. And I will just grab the code so that we can watch both sides of the game as well. Okay.
What to do?
So we see a pretty big hand here from Braiky, who has also got a junk bot in hand. I'm assuming that's from a from an unstable portal. It's a very unstable portal at this point. I think. I apparently forgot to change the names again last game. No, sorry, no, I didn't. So this game here is between. Oh, excuse me, I've just ruined the... yeah. Okay. So let's get into the game properly now then. So... you see here Braiky...
I must safeguard the land.
with a lot of board control and almost lethal here actually. If he plays Ragnaros and it hits face, we've seen a lot of Ragnaros face hits in the last few minutes. So the Ragnaros is a small chance of lethal, well actually a half a chance of lethal. Is there any way to confirm lethal? You do 6 from that, not really. So it's kind of Ragnaros and the rest face. Yeah, I think that's the right play anyway, you know. Oh, hang on. Okay, so he's traded first anyway. So he's going to go down to 3 here. And that's probably a better play because he does have the Frostbolt in hand. So unless a... well, even a Lotheb doesn't stop it here. Unless there is Force of Nature, Savage Roar... oh, no way, there's not going to be an... What's going to happen? 4 damage from lethal? Nope, that's the end of that. So we see an Arcane Missiles here coming out for the troll lols. And Braiky taking a 1-0 lead in this one. We'll see exactly how this pans out. And I need to very quickly do that. Just because I've been told so many times now that the volume is a little bit too high. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first game, I believe. Braiky taking a small lead. And he will not be able to... oh, sorry, he will have to stay with his mage class. And it is a paladin that we see Eero playing here. So, we see double Azure Drake and a Water Elemental. As well as Arcane Missiles. Very intriguing hand. I'm unsure on the Arcane Missiles. We'll see how it handles. With the Water Elemental, it does look like a Mage of old, but there is also the Unstable Portal in there, so...
Hello.
Arcane Missiles, turn 1, please. From one of our legend players in the tournament today. I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen that arcane missiles, 3 damage first turn. Who can beat it? Who could beat it? So we could see a ping into a trade here, which is probably what is going to happen. And it does. And we see a mirror entity. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Now this might be the arcane missile's turn. I mean, arcane missiles is sure to hit at least one, so you can then ping for the rest. And if it does both, then you can play the unstable portal afterwards. Or you can play the unstable portal first and prove me to be an idiot. Oh! Oh, Blood Mage Salnos. You dirty, dirty thing. Holy moly. Oh, but it doesn't quite work out. Well, I guess he gets the freebie though. I guess that's a freebie, the knife juggler there for braiky. So he won't be too mad. But the Master for Battle coming into play now. The Thalnos leaves the board dead. Water Elemental looks to be the play here for braiky. The fact that it freezes the enemy is probably the reason he wants to play it here. But he could also do this, and Mad Scientist into ping to play around the Quartermaster, which you would expect when someone holds on to their Muster for Battle when they've got a curve to do better. I think, you know, you're probably expecting it. So we see the Arcane Nullifier for what is probably the first time in any tournament ever. No. But first time I've seen it in competitive play. I do like it as an inclusion in this deck, but the Lotheb here for braiky is a counter for it. But we don't know. He might have something to counter that. I was hoping that we might have a situation where I could see, or we could see, the hand, but that has not come to fruition just yet. So, Arcane Intellect now for braiky. I mean, there's a few different plays here. It's really just up to the player which he prefers. We're going to see the ping into the Water Elemental. So the Water Elemental does take out the Arcane Nullifier here, unless there is a small heal. The heal is going to the face of the Paladin. Oh, but it gets Mirror Entity. That's a big Mirror Entity there for the Mage, because he can ping it as well as trade. So he can trade the 3-4 into the 2-3 and the 5-6 into the 5-6 and ping. Or actually, he's got 2 fireballs, but he'll probably keep those, I imagine. I mean, however tempting it is, you've got Dr. Boom, first card in your hand, turn 7. It's crying out to be played. But I don't know. I think that the play here is probably the one that I mentioned. We could, well, you could see the 3-4-2-3, the 5-6 into the 2-2, and then a fireball going to the Guardian of Kings with the Arcane Intellect being played as well. So there's a few different ways that braiky can do this. He can clear the board completely, but obviously he cannot rid his opponent of the weapon. We do see the Guardian of Kings going into the 2-2 here, and I would assume, maybe not so safely, that it's going to be a fireball Arcane Intellect here. But we could see a Sludge Belcher into ping. You see the Arcane Intellect. You see a Frostbolt and a Flamewalker coming down into the hand of braiky. Now, this Flamewalker's interesting. I don't want to make any judgments before I've seen it played, so I'll make my judgments after he's been played. The Avenging Wrath. So this is a Paladin with a couple of little shocks in there, and it clears the board. He had to hit 6 of those 8 into the 2 cards on the board, and he hits them. Excellent fortune there for braiky. Not going to say RNG. He plays the Dr. Boom. Now, maybe there was the Sylvanas into ping play there, but I don't know. I'm not the one playing.
That was a mistake.
Consecration time. Apparently there was a mistake. Should have probably consecrated first, I think, was what he was saying, in case the Eldor got killed. But it didn't cost him. And we see the end of that Coghammer. Immediately Flamewalker is played. Unstable Portal comes out, and the Gurubashi Berserker here. Now that's still not the greatest card I've ever seen played. By quite a way. But we do see the Flame Cannon now, which sees... Is that 2 damage extra to the face? Yes, that's 2 damage to the Paladin. And we see the Gurubashi Berserker. Gurubashi Berserker is something I used to play in my mage decks before I had any of the good cards in the game. Like, you could just ping it, and it could end up as like a 15-3, and you could heal it with your Earthen Ring, and it was just the best thing ever. And I'm a genius for inventing that.
I have no time for games.
But we see a fireball here. Did he just reach that to the face? Oh, okay. So he fireballs his own Sylvanas to get the Sneed's old Shredder. And we see 2 damage from the Flamewalker. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a play. That took some conies. He's obviously hoping that Rakatosh doesn't have too much in his hand. He sees a Sword of Justice. And a Noyatron. He's still not that gutted. Reinforce, he's pretty happy still. In fact, he's probably laughing. And a Master for Battle, okay, maybe he's not laughing too much anymore, because that is a perfect play. And just imagine here if he gets that Quartermaster next turn, if he survives long enough. I mean, there's a case for hitting the Gurubashi into the 2-3 here, but you probably do it with your boom. Flamewalker here. Okay, so we see a ping into the Frostbolt. Okay, so now we see the Flamewalkers deciding that they're not going to be working together. They're not going to be coordinated. And it's just going to be one of those days for Rakatosh. Or Ero, as we may also know him as. 1 card in his hand. No cards deal lethal. Deathwing's the best card he could play here. Does he play it?
Put your faith in the light.
Tyrion is a suitable other.
Reporting for duty.
But there is still lethal on the board. Yes. Yeah, perfect lethal. So you trade your 2-2 into the... I was gonna say, you trade your 2-2 into that. There was a definite lethal there. I don't know if there still is or not. Oh, there is now. Yeah. There was a better definite lethal. My definite lethal was far better there. But anyway, that does see braiky moving on into the 3rd round of the Syndical Gaming Friday Night Cup here. Sorry, the 4th round from the 3rd round. He will face either We Are Sorry or Ephira. And I am just trying to wait and see. We haven't had a result from them thus far. So we'll wait and see. Now, are we able to see